What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video I'm going to be trying out something new on the channel. Today I'm going to be assessing a series of timetables that I acquired at the Airliners International 2022 convention in Chicago, Illinois. If you watched my Airliners International 2022 convention experience video, you may have seen these timetables make a brief appearance, but I didn't really go into too much detail about them because I just kind of wanted to show that I got those timetables. But this video I'm going to be assessing them in pretty good detail, just kind of looking through how they're set up and just how they're structured and everything, and even try to find my hometown airport of Sioux Falls in the timetables where I knew for sure that Sioux Falls would have been present in the timetables, or at least the airline had serviced Sioux Falls during the time period that the timetable was issued in. So, no particular order for these timetables is what I'm going to go for here, so they'll just be kind of a bit randomized here. So let's go ahead and start off with this first one. So here we go with the Northwest Airlines frequent flyer timetable from January the 9th of 1990. So this is applicable for retro FSD, as we do have quite a bit going on here for Sioux Falls. Let's go ahead and find that here. This is sorted in alphabetical order by the airport code. So if we go ahead and find FSD in here somewhere, it is, I believe, this one right around here. So there is Sioux Falls right there, and you can see all the services from Minneapolis, and you can see the mention of a DC-950 and also a 72S, which would indicate a 727. And I believe... Okay, so it doesn't list anything in regards to what each aircraft type means, but if you're a really good aviation enthusiast, you'll be able to have everything memorized. I mean, there's some other cool stuff in here, like MD-80 at Tampa, and some of those other stuff. You even got like 757s, 747s. This is all Minneapolis, so this would have been the big hub. You can see they can take up basically, you know, two full pages basically, all the way from this page over to this page. So just something like that there. So you can kind of see how everything's set up. But basically, you have the flight number, or not the flight number, the destination, and you have the departure time, the arrival time, the flight number, and then obviously the equipment that's listed, the frequency. The X means that it's not operated on those days. So 6 is Saturday, 7 is Sunday, and then you have the stops. So S would indicate a particular destination, and then you also have the miles as to how long the flight is. So that's kind of how everything is here, and you got the bowling shoe Northwest logo. Some of the other details on here, you got some stuff for the Northwest World Club that they had during this time. You see the locations that they had, obviously 3 locations in Minneapolis, 2 in Detroit, and various other locations across the world. So that's everything we have for that timetable. Let's go ahead and move on to our next timetable. A little bit of an older Northwest one here, but we have this one from February the 10th of 1988. So this is the older Northwest thermometer logo that came from the Northwest Orient days. So we'll go ahead and open this up. This is basically the same as the last one on the inside. So once again, I'll go ahead and find Sioux Falls here. Okay, bottom of the page, towards the bottom of this particular page. There's no page number on these, but there you go. So this is what we got in 1988 from Minneapolis. You can see pretty much everything on DC-950s, but you do have some of those air mentioned there that I believe would be the Northwest Airlink stuff, so you can kind of see it there. 32, 74, 76, and 78. And I believe I did see that certain flight numbers were marked as to who they would have been operated by in the 1990 timetable, but it may not be present in this one. So okay, it actually is mentioned. So it is towards the back of the timetable, so you can see it right around there. 3200 to 3299 would be Mesaba, and they were in the 3200 range, so it is indeed Mesaba. So that is to be expected. And also some really cool maps that they have here for some of their hub airports. So there's an advertisement for Northwest there at the end. There you see a map for the Detroit Metropolitan Airport. This is actually the old layout, so this is before they built up all that new stuff in the 2000s. So there you see Memphis right there, and then also Minneapolis, back when they used to have the concourses named off colors like gold, red, blue, and green. That's really cool. I love some of this old stuff to look at. And take a look at that advertisement right there, very applicable. Radisson Hotels, how about that? And then we have an AWS advertisement for car rentals, rental cars, all that fun stuff. 500 World Perks miles when you rent from Avis. So that is really nice right there. Good deal. Where's your boarding pass? So very applicable right there in reference to the design. Now we have another timetable right here. This one is from Piedmont Airlines. This is dated September 10th of 1987. Got a really nice advertisement here up on the front. We don't mean to be pushy, but you better call now to get our low fall fares, and there's the phone number. I doubt that's in service anymore, so if you try to call it, it'll probably lead you to a dead number. Now, Sioux Falls never got Piedmont Airlines, but it's still fun to look through these. You can kind of see how everything's set up. They have it sorted by the name of the city. So, for example, you got Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, Arkansas. So you got some of that cool stuff right there, and it listed by destination, which you can see lists the time of departure and the time of arrival. Try to get that into focus there. Let me try to zoom in just a little bit so it's a little easier. So let's just sample this one right here. So you can see the flight number right there as well, and then obviously the exemptions as to when it's not operated, and then if there's any stops noted. So as you can see, these are all direct flights from Charlotte, as that would have been one of their big hubs. And then just some other cool stuff here. They have some new up-and-coming services. Starting September 10th, you can see some of that stuff right there, and then October 10th and November 15th. Some of the cool stuff right there, and then some general information stuff, which I'll kind of zoom out on right here in just a moment. New afternoon nonstop service to Charlotte. That's actually pretty cool right there. I love seeing that kind of stuff. And we'll check towards the back as well. A lot of advertisements here, so you can see your link to the link, some of that cool stuff right there. And then just some phone number stuff for reservations. On Piedmont, every package is a care package, so you can see some of that cool stuff right there. And there's a nice map for the Charlotte Douglas Airport. So you can see the map of the Charlotte Douglas Airport for Concourse C and D, which is where they would have operated out of. And you can see they don't have the international commuter gates built up yet. And you can see Baltimore. This actually does fold out a little bit. You have a route map. Look at that. How about this? I love seeing route maps. It's really cool to look at because, and oh, look at that. Champaign, Urbana used to got service. So that's AS Aviation territory. That'd be really interesting to see what they would have operated to Champaign. You can see St. Louis. And some of the hubs there, which would have been noted there in red, I believe. Yeah, so you got like Charlotte, Dayton, Ohio, Syracuse as well up towards the top. That looks really nice. And also Baltimore as well. And then some other route maps for some of the commuter system stuff, which you can see here. So feel free to pause at each one of these at your own leisure. And then here is the last one for good measure. So yeah, that's pretty much everything we have there for that route map. I don't think the other ones had any, but I'll be sure to pop up route maps for those two Northwest timetables that we looked at towards the end of the video. And then there's some of the stuff here on the back. You got like a calendar up at the top. All right, next up we have another timetable. This is Ozark Airlines. This is effective of August 1st of 1980. Your airline to Washington, D.C., and I love the picture up here on the front where you got the firework display. Probably taken during 4th of July, if I had to guess. Okay, this opens up a little weirdly here, so you can see some Chicago, St. Louis advertisements, so some services between those places, and then here we go. Fold this out, and you can see like a timetable sample as just to how to read it, and then some passenger information stuff. A lot of text to read. And you can see some of all the other destinations. I'll go ahead and check the Sioux Falls one on this one, so let me try to get this folded back up in the correct orientation. We'll go and take a look at that. Hey, we got a route map on this one. I never saw the route map. All right, we got another route map here in this one. Take a look at this. This is gonna have to, I'm actually zoomed out all the way. So I'll go ahead and take a photo of this route map and I'll pop this up on your screen so you can actually see what the route map looked like in full. But just to kind of summarize, you can see Sioux Falls right there, service to Des Moines, Sioux City, Mason City, and all the way over to Chicago. Nothing to St. Louis at this time, so that's just kind of how it was. That didn't come until a little bit later. You can see this is like, this kind of looks like an envelope here on the back where you got the Ozark Airlines stuff and where it came from. But trying to fold this back open here, you can see once again, that's how the timetable would have been set up. Obviously, pretty much standard for any other timetables. I'll go and find the Sioux Falls one like I promised. All right, everybody, I found Sioux Falls, and you can see some of the services on here, stops over to some other places. You can see some direct stuff to Des Moines, Iowa, right around there. 597 and 934 now. How Ozark did flight numbers was they did them by aircraft type, so you can see the key down there. 500 and 900 series flight numbers got you on a DC-9 jet, and if you were on a 700 or 800 flight number, you'd be on a Fairchild FH227B, and that is a turboprop version of the F-27, a model of which I have in 1 to 400 scale. So here's some other stuff to take a look at as well. And these are some of the other services, and you can see, this is actually Sioux City we're looking at here, so let me try to find Sioux Falls again. There it is at the bottom, and then off to the other side, you can see some of the direct stuff. You see some 900 stuff, so that's a DC-9, more DC-9 stuff. I don't think they would have sent the FH227 on these services anymore, so they would have been all on DC-9 jets. So now, a cool thing to note is that Aero Classics, they literally just announced a brand new Ozark DC-9 for 1 to 400 scale, and that is awesome to see. So I'm definitely going to be getting that model for Christmas. Massive unboxing number 13 is going to be massive, literally, in terms of assets for Retro FSD. I'm super excited to get that unboxing all put together. Going retro theme, of course, as you would imagine, because of all the retro planes that I am getting. Here's another timetable to take a look at. This one we have from Frontier Airlines, the old Frontier. This is the Saul Bass era logo, which is the same logo that they're using today on the current Frontier. This is effective for January the 5th of 1984, and you can see the Frontier Horizon, Frontier Commuter, and Air Midwest services are also included. And you see the advertisement for Frontier's Summit Club. Frontier proudly announces a new world-class private club, and you can see it's available at those locations: Dallas, Denver, Kansas City, Phoenix, Salt Lake City, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. So very nice for that. And we have a route map on this one too, it looks like. Oops, I think I just ripped it out, but maybe that was what it's supposed to do, but oh well. But either way, here is a good look at the route map. This is going to be a little bit shoddy. So again, I'll try to take a better picture of this one. This one doesn't turn out well whilst I'm editing. I'll pop up on your screen now so you can see all the destinations and everything. But this is a very nice route map, and I love to see this stuff. I'm going to go and take a look at this in closer detail. You can see we got some Boeing 737, Super 80 stuff. Very nice stuff. How about this? And you can see for Sioux Falls, I'm going to bring the route map in just a little bit closer so you can see this a little bit better. So you can see for Sioux Falls, we had direct service over to Sioux City, up to Fargo, and then all the way over to Denver. And you can see all the connecting services up to like Grand Forks. Sioux City, you can go over to Cedar Rapids, and you see Madison, Wisconsin, Omaha, Nebraska, just some of these other places around the state of South Dakota and other neighboring states. But this is a really nice route map. Again, I love seeing these route maps. I've gotten quite fascinated by those. And then here's a look at the back side. This, I believe, is... Oh, yeah, this is Stapleton. How about this? A nice relic of the past of the old Denver airport, the Stapleton International Airport. This is Concourse D. Yep, this has been Concourse D, and there's a look at the full terminal map. I believe they built Concourse C a few years after this timetable was printed. This is from 1984. I think it opened a few years later, so it didn't last very long before they closed it in 95. So there's a look at the entire map of Stapleton. I like seeing this kind of stuff. It's just very fascinating to me, but I don't think I was supposed to rip out of the timetable like that, so oops. But oh well, I can probably post that individually. And just taking a look here, you can see how everything is oriented on this Frontier timetable. You got the logo there up on the top. Effective January 5th, 1984, all time showing our logo. I'll go ahead and find the Sioux Falls ones once again. RS. And here we go. Take a look at some of the cool stuff on here so you can see. This is the Sioux Falls section here on the right side of this particular page, page 139. So these are very big timetables, and this is how they used to do it back in the day. Now everything's pretty much found digitally. So you can kind of see all the applicable details and all that fun stuff. I'll go ahead and kind of read this a little bit off camera just so I can better understand what this all means. But you can see here the B. I actually never saw this, actually. This is really cool. I like how they do indicate the different types of aircraft. But you can see the B indicates that it's a Boeing 737, or uppercase B, I should say, and if it's a lowercase b, it's 727. L indicates limousine, which is kind of interesting. I didn't realize Frontier had limousines, and then the C indicates it's a Convair. So I'll go and take a look at see how everything was. Just checking all the direct services. I don't really care about some of the other stuff, but yep, uppercase B, so 737 for Denver. And I'll check the Fargo stuff as well. That one also an uppercase B, so once again you're looking at another 737. And I think I mentioned Sioux City as well. Yep, and that would have been also a B, so that is once again a 737. So I really need a Frontier 737-200 Saul Bass. Here's a good advertisement at the back once again for Frontier Airlines. Call a professional travel agent, as always. That is very applicable. Frontier Airlines of San Diego. I love seeing this kind of stuff right here, just some of the basic advertisements and all that fun stuff. And yeah, nothing really much in the way of advertisements in this one. Actually, there's one up here, up to 10 daily nonstops from Fort Collins and Boulder to Stapleton, so interstate service. Frontier introduces the best ski invention since metal skis, so there's some stuff on like ski vacations, and a nice little rendering of a Frontier 737 there in the bottom. It looks really nice. I think that's basically everything for advertisements in here, because the rest of it's all like timetable stuff. So that's pretty much all for that particular timetable. Getting towards the end, but I will be sure to make another video because I'm getting more timetables for Christmas. Some of it, or actually all of it rather, is for Retro FSD, and I'll be sure to make another video on that. But here we go for another timetable. We got PEOPLExpress this time. We paved a highway in the sky. So this one is for October 2nd of 1984. Now, PEOPLExpress did not serve Sioux Falls, to my understanding, but they did serve a lot of other places across the country. I did see a route map. There it is. route map indeed. Check this out. This one will actually fit here on the screen. So you can see they have a big hub out of New York, Newark. So they've been out of Newark, Liberty. They have service over to London, Gatwick, which is really cool. You can kind of see that there at the right of your screen. And then also all the way out to like San Francisco and Los Angeles. But a lot of their service was contained within the northeastern United States, but you do have, you know, some of the larger cities like Minneapolis, Chicago, even Houston. I'm surprised Dallas isn't on here. That's kind of interesting. Or even Denver, some of those cities like that. And you can see how it's colored by the time zones. So you can see, you know, Pacific, Mountain, Central, and Eastern, all the standard time zones here in the United States. I always like seeing those route maps once again, like I've said many times. I'm just going to take a look at a sample once again, sorted by the city. Where you're going and all that fun stuff. So there you see all the cool stuff on here, and even lists like airfares as well, which is kind of interesting. $148 from like Baltimore to San Francisco. Kind of interesting. I'm just going to take a look here and see if they list any aircraft. Service to other domestic destinations operate with Boeing 727 or 737, so it does not make a clear indicator as to what it would have been operated with. So you just kind of have to, you're probably either or. So if you're really looking to do like a retro airport project and you're running one of those timetables, definitely be sure to grab both if you can. But otherwise, if you have a better understanding, then go with the one that you know for sure would have been operating to a particular airport. That's just kind of my advice on that. But here's another map here on the back. We have the Newark International Airport, the North Terminal section. You got the East Arcade and West Arcade. I like those names. Counter A, Counter B, Counter C. That's really interesting. Instead of gate numbers, you got, you know, counters and all that stuff. That's actually kind of cool. You got shuttle buses between each of the arcades as well if you don't have enough time to run all the way through and come back around. Because, I mean, you have to go through security again if you have to go from, say, the East Arcade to the West Arcade, all that fun stuff. All London and transcontinental flights arrive into part of Terminal C, so that meant in another part of the airport in that instance. Getting towards the end, I have a safety card that we'll take a look at as well. I did look at that in the Airliners International video, but I'll kind of go in that a little more depth on this one. But here's another Piedmont Airlines timetable. This is effective on December the 8th of 1987. Even those who only fly once a year could benefit from our frequent flyer program. Turn to the inside back cover for all the applicable details. And there's a look at all those applicable details. How about this? So this is all the Piedmont stuff once again and again. Another map for the Charlotte, Baltimore, and Dayton maps. And here's the route map once again. I love seeing all these route maps. So I'll go ahead and pop up a picture for the 1984 timetable. And I don't really think anything changed too much really compared to 84. But I think this has been right towards the tail end of Piedmont's existence before they were absorbed into US Airways. So just kind of sample a, let's do like Orlando, Florida or something, so you can kind of see, once again, pretty much the same as the 84 timetable, so nothing really changes too much, but I like the Fly Piedmont logo there up at the top. It looks really nice. Let me see if there's any other like advertisements or something here. Oh, no, there's one. I just saw it. Lucky us, we go to Nassau every day. How about that? So flying all the way over to the Bahamas, that's very applicable. Another of our capital ideas, you can see service to Phoenix, Arizona is being advertised here. On Piedmont, every package is a care package, so that's the same as the previous timetable, all that fun stuff. So yeah, nothing much on the back here, but you can see the expedited package stuff advertised on here once again. And we'll take a look at the safety card to round out this video. So here it is, a safety card from a United Airlines Boeing 727 that was once wearing the Solvas livery. And I believe a date, I found a date on this at one point. Yeah, copyright Aero Safety Graphics Incorporated of 1991. So there's a look at all the different modules and all that stuff. Again, feel free to pause the video as you see fit, so you can see all of the applicable details with regards to everything that you want to see. So here is one of the covers, and you can see the front cover, of course, all those details and everything in between. And then there's the back, which is pretty blank. Alright, so that's pretty much everything I have for this video. It's kind of a quick one, but I figured it'd be something fun to do, just as sort of extra content, rather, for the channel as we head into the holiday season. Now, I will be getting more timetables, and I'll be sure to make a really in-depth video on those, because a lot of the timetables I'm getting, actually pretty much all of them, except maybe like one or two I'm getting, again, like an American timetable from the 80s, which has the Super 80 on it, which is going to be really cool to see. But they are all for retro FSD research, and it'll definitely be fun to take a look through those and see what would have flown to Sioux Falls. So yeah, that will do it for this video. Really excited to get more timetables here in the future, and I'll definitely be sure to make more videos on timetables as I get more in the future. Definitely be sure to get some at the Airliners International 2023 convention over in Dallas, Texas. And also, another cool thing to note is that I'm finally back in this unboxing area. It's been a few months since I've been in here because obviously I've been up in college and all that stuff, getting models up there instead of down here. But I will be sure to return to this area for the Christmas unboxing. So that'll do it for me. So with that being said, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.